Probably 3. First up is the Spot the Difference 3 Railway Engines by Jeff Kenney. Stupid. Is it off? Dang it. Left it too long. Nope. You're not going to see my iPad password. Well, my phone password. Okay. Start this now.
The 3 Railway Engines was the very first book of the Railway series and was first published in 1945. It was written by the Reverend Wilbert Audrey, based on his fascination with steam trains and based on the stories he had told his son while he was recovering from the measles. In fact,
That
the tale
picture
was
looks
first
very
told
bad.
and put onto paper in 1942, but its delay.
Fun fact. That's a good fun fact.
Due to the World War.
Oh, that was in the
Four
world.
short stories were illustrated 3 times. First by the author, secondly by artist William Middleton, and thirdly by Clarence Reginald Dalby, who went on to bring the island of Sodor to visual life for another 11 books.
Oh, nice.
39
11.
years later,
thought
3
it was
and a
more.
half of this book's stories were adapted into 3
3 and
of the
a
very
half.
first
Yeah, I know
episodes
that.
of Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends.
Nice.
How faithful were these adaptations? Let's see if we can spot the differences.
Yeah, first of the... You could literally see a
In the
difference.
beginning, there was Edward's Day Out, but this was created as the second episode of Thomas and Friends, though technically it was still the first, as the episodes were originally released 2 per episode.
Nice.
Also, the episode combined the
He's
first
giving us a lot of fun
stories into
facts,
one.
which
Something to note about
I
the
don't
first
like.
5 books is that the only engine to originally have a number painted onto them
was Thomas.
perhaps because he was the only tank engine on the island until the 5th book. For whatever reason that made Audrey give the other Steamies a number in addition to their names, in the TV series all the characters were numbered from their very first appearances. In addition to Edward, Gordon and Henry, there are 3 other engines in the shed. Years later, when fans asked about the identity of these unnamed engines and why they were never seen again on...
Yeah, I'm gonna give them weird names. The red one with the red wheels is named Jeff. The small blue one that looks like Edward is Alfred, and the big blue one is probably, I don't know, Jeffrey.
To this book, Audrey explained that they were sent away for being naughty. In the television
He's also
episode,
copying a
other
YouTube
engines
video.
used were James and Thomas, which makes little sense as Thomas is much smaller than Edward. They were all bigger and boasted about it. And James was not supposed to have arrived on Sodor for several more episodes.
Two goofs in one.
Of the shed and is
I
crying,
wish I could put the
whereas
O face,
the
but
adaptation,
I don't have
he
it.
is in the middle, and there are no tears. Edward the Blue
Makes
Engine
sense.
hasn't been used for quite some time, but after he is teased by Gordon the Big Engine, his driver and fireman take him out to pull some coaches. The next 3 pages were not adapted. They involved Edward collecting his coaches and being delayed at the station due to his train's guard being late to the platform. The engine's train consists of 5 orange coaches, but in the episode, his 3 coaches are painted
green.
dark green and yellow. He returns to the shed tired but happy, and here the book's first story ends, and the second one begins.
Ha!
Dalby's illustration shows Edward to be quite shocked by Gordon's pompous attitude. In Middleton's, he just looks unhappy.
I'm
But in the
sad.
episode, the old
I'm
engine
happy. So it's 3 reactions.
As that day
That is
has been
sucky.
given trucks to pull instead of coaching.
Yeah.
We dug these
I hate you, ads. I literally hate you. Yank.
The location of the hill is quite enclosed by bushes and trees, with a view of the sea in the distance. And at the bottom of the hill, there is a small bridge above the line.
I know.
In the
Everyone knows.
illustrations, the hill is surrounded by open countryside.
Really?
And there
Really?
is a small fence running alongside it.
We know that.
Gordon tries to blame getting stuck on the hill, that shall forever after be known as his hill, because he is pulling trucks rather than coaches.
they were coaching now, clean, sensible things.
That Gordon really doesn't look like his counterbases or in the TV show either.
Was not included into the episode. At the top of the hill, there is a gate which a man is leaning against.
Hey,
Neither
where
the
those?
man nor gate appear in the episode. Gordon's lack of appreciation for Edward's efforts upsets the engine, until his driver promises to give him a new coat of paint. Both Edward and the water
James,
are filthy in the episode, but in the illustration, they are bright and clean.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I will do it. I will do it.
The sad story of Henry was
This is a
actually
season
the very
4
first
picture,
episode
I think.
attempted for a television adaptation back in 1953. Even though the first 6 engines were built into models, the show was
Where's
cancelled
Gordon?
after the first episode proved quite unsuccessful, as rather than being recorded so any errors or malfunctions could be edited out, it was broadcast live, as all television was back then. Fast forward 31 years, and the sad story of Henry is given another chance to be brought to model life. Henry the Green Engine
Yeah,
is
it was
pulling his
points. They
train
didn't have
when it
points
starts to
there.
rain, and so comes to a halt inside the nearest tunnel. Apart from the very first shot, it does not appear to actually be raining in the episode. Also, the coaches are orange.
Orange,
whereas in
yeah,
the
that's
episode,
what
they
the
are
express
dark
coaches
green
were in
and
the railway
yellow express
series.
coaches, besides the one James is pulling. Henry refuses to budge from the tunnel. There is a small notice at each entrance to the hole, but they are not seen in the episode.
Ha!
Thus entereth Sir Topham Hatt, nicknamed affectionately by the engines and the narrator, unless you're an American, as the Fat Controller. But in Audrey's original book,
The
the
engine-
character was named the Fat Director, which some speculate to be the father of the man we know as the Fat Controller. After all, the engines may be able
Pig.
to live
Where's
forever,
Pig?
but the human
Where's Edward?
characters surely aren't immortal. The other difference to the Fat Hatter's first entrance is that in the episode he arrives at the tunnel via James, but we are not informed whether someone sent for him to deal with the situation, or if he just so happened to be a passenger on the train. And got
I'm a
off
passenger
when
of the
James
train. Now I see a
stopped
train
to
in
see
a
what the
tunnel.
problem
Now I'm gonna get
was.
out.
In the book, however, he was a passenger on Henry's train. To help elevate his short stature
That Henry's
slightly,
derby.
Sir Topham Hatt spends most of his screen time in this episode standing on a portable tree stump. He does not have this in the book, nor does he have the first of his nameless bodyguards holding an umbrella over him.
We're probably gonna stop this episode right after this one. When I said 3, they'll be in different
Speaking of the
parts.
rain, the illustrations
part
for
one.
the second half of this story show the weather has brightened up, but in the episode, a few
It is
passengers
still
are still
cloudy.
sheltering themselves from the absent rain with umbrellas.
Oops.
After the passengers' rather silly attempts to pull and push Henry out of the tunnel, Thomas arrives and has a go. The
Dummies!
tank engine does not appear in this first Railway Series book,
Yay.
and instead the engineer who arrived is unnamed but resembles James. In addition to
that's
removing
red
the rails in
wheels.
front of Henry and bricking him up to nose level, men cut a new tunnel. It is not said or shown where the replacement tunnel was dug, and it is not mentioned in the episode. Also, instead of removing all the rails leading up to the wall, buffers were put in front of it. Here the story ends, but the episode used the first page of the fourth story to pad the episode out for another 30 seconds. Edward is seen pulling trucks as he passes by Henry, but in the illustration he has coaches.
Everyone pulled except the Fat Control. Because, I said, my doctor has forbidden me to pull.
You're lazy.
Don't you know?
The final story starts with the big engine pulling his express in the direction of the tunnel, and looking forward to teasing Henry about being abandoned. As with the other coaches seen in this book, the ones in the illustration would be identified via the television series as branch line coaches. Also, Gordon's Express uses 8 coaches, but in the episode he has 5. As he approaches the tunnel, Gordon's safety valve
Oh!
collapses, and he is brought to a stop right outside of the entrance to the tunnel. The
Sorry, we're
distance
walking
between the two
around.
engines is a lot farther
That's
back
a view
than
of
the
my house.
illustration. Edward is sent for, but isn't strong enough to pull the train on his own. For some reason, this was changed in the episode, as Edward tries pushing the coaches instead, with the same result. The same thing happens when Henry is freed from the tunnel, though the
How? He pushes coaches in the yard. Just how can he not push express coaches? This doesn't make any sense.
reason this time was A, at the time he is ready to move, the wall still hasn't been removed, B, they have not put the missing rails back, and C, because Gordon is now parked right in front of Henry's side of the tunnel. Gordon looks thoroughly unimpressed, or possibly sad to see Edward and Henry succeed in pulling his express. But in the illustration, he definitely looks happy for his two colleagues.
Yeah.
The story ends with Henry being rewarded by being painted the same color as his two friends. This decision would cause problems for the author and the illustrator, as although Henry would barely be seen in this series for the next 4 books, fans complained that he and Gordon now looked far too similar, which soon led to Audrey having Henry repainted back to his original color. This is therefore why Henry wasn't turned briefly blue in the TV series. Also, in the last illustration, the fat director is smoking a cigar.
Edward puffed and pushed and... I will. Cheerio!
Okay, there's another part to this, guys. And we'll do it right now.